Hi everybody, welcome to the webinar. I'm Tracy Swanson, Membership Director at ESA Headquarters.
And I'm Charlotte Carloni, Philanthropic Coordinator. We are here today to talk to you about I Never Thought of That, how to rock your Celebrate ESA event and get new members this year.
Celebrate ESA is going to be huge this spring, and we've not had an opportunity like this before. It's going to be amazing. The publicity we can generate through our Celebrate ESA events in the coming months can do more than just make ESA known. Through these events, we can make ESA grow, and we have to. We're at a crucial crossroads in our organization, and every single one of us needs to commit to replenishing our ESA people power resources through sponsoring new members this year. This is the only way to make sure that ESA is here for the future. If we don't do this, then Celebrate ESA becomes only about the past. But if we do use this opportunity to grow, then we're also celebrating ESA's future. We know we're all super proud of the difference we've made for the kids in the last 40 years, and that it's important to keep ESA strong for them for the next 40. Is your brain starting to turn about ways you can celebrate ESA and welcome new members? Ours are. We have some ideas about this that you might never have thought about.
As Tracy said, Celebrate ESA is about two things, making our achievements known and making our opportunities known. Let's use these Celebrate ESA events to really connect with people and let them experience the opportunities we have to offer them through membership to ESA. And we know that our table is a great way to begin connections, but it's more than just setting a table. It's what we do with our tables that really count.
These are some great ESA table photos that you guys have sent to us recently. That top left photo is IC President Rose Pasillas and IC Senior St. Jude Chairman Anita Hilburn at the Memphis Marathon last December. We'll talk a little bit more about their booth later. To the right, Raleigh, North Carolina area members did a terrific booth at their Give Thanks Walk for St. Jude in November. And in that lower left corner, Pam Munson of Omicron chapter in Washington State did a booth that her chapter sponsored at the Volunteer Fair at Tacoma Community College. And they did welcome new members for their chapter through that event. Look, if you look at Pam's picture carefully on the bottom left, you can see that they followed the all-important ESA rule. If you feed them, they will come. A treat bowl is always a good idea. But remember, a beautiful booth is not the goal. It's what we do with the booth that matters.
Remember the two parts of Celebrate ESA. Celebrate what we've done over the past 40 years for St. Jude and get new members through our events and publicity to provide the human powers for ESA's next 40 years for the kids.
You know, the best place to start about celebrating ESA is to get excited about sharing ESA. Lynn King from Florida, in the center of the photo below, has been a member of ESA for 4 years and has sponsored 7 new members in that time. When asked about this accomplishment, she simply replies, "I'm just having a ball with ESA, and how happy I am in ESA shows, I guess. When I see someone who I think would be an asset to our organization, I just tell them about ESA and what it is I'm doing with it, and then I ask them if they'd like to be a part." You know, we all have an ESA story. Celebrate ESA is a great time to reconnect with yours. Consider welcoming new people who are the age you were when you joined ESA. You know, Lynn is there in the center, and her 2 new pledges are on either side, neither one of whom are related to her.
A big part of ESA is Team ESA is to dress the part. This red Team ESA merchandise in the middle is very special because it's the only merchandise we have available that's co-branded with St. Jude, which is really cool. But if red isn't your color, we also have the Ask Me About ESA buttons there that are available through headquarters, and we'll show you where in just a few minutes. And you can get that red Team ESA merchandise here on the ESA website on the home page under merchandise, which is where that red arrow is pointing to right there.
You know, one cool thing about that ESA St. Jude merchandise is that a portion of the sales of that is actually donated to St. Jude.
The cool thing about Celebrate ESA is that you can adapt any event that you're already planning for St. Jude to include some of the aspects of Celebrate ESA. Or you can create a brand new event, which is also a really great way to renew enthusiasm for St. Jude in your chapter.
So as you get really ready to go do your Celebrate ESA event, you need to be preparing to talk to people. We're going to interact. We have beautiful professional pieces for you to hand to people as you talk to them. And they all have a place for your contact information, so be sure and fill that out. There is one just for ESA and St. Jude, which is the piece on the right with the red. You can request these, both the regular ESA brochures and the ESA plus St. Jude brochures in the recruitment section of the Member Center. You know, do you all know where the recruitment section of the Member Center is to get that? Or would you like to have a little bit of information about where to find that stuff on the website? Can you take a minute and vote and let us know?
Okay, and as you can see, it looks like some of you know where it is, but a few would like us to show you. So what we will do is we'll just jump out of here real quick. Everything is located obviously on the ESA website under Member Center. Log in with your member number and your password. And all of this stuff is located under Chapter and Council Management and Recruitment. And scroll down a bit and you can see where you can request printed materials right there in all caps. That'll automate to an email that'll come directly to us here at headquarters. You can also order those blue Ask Me About ESA buttons directly from here. And if you see this Make Your Own Flyers, keep in mind where that is because Tracy's going to be telling us about that just about right now.
That Make Your Own Flyer piece that Charlotte just pointed out to you is important because remember when you're doing your Celebrate ESA event, you're not just telling our national story, you're telling your story. Talk about your experience with ESA and St. Jude, ways you've participated. Maybe you visited the hospital, heard a patient speak, attended a Give Thanks walk. This is where you tell why you love ESA. Bring your pictures, make a storyboard, and create your own stuffers, which is that Make Your Own Flyer piece that we just pointed out. That template on the website, when you click that, opens into a Word document that you can type in information about other projects that your local group supports, things that you have coming up with St. Jude, your next event. This is the one piece that you want if you're doing stuffers or need something in big quantity because you can customize it to be very local, and that's what you want, to showcase your local opportunities. Another important thing you need for your table is a clipboard, and that seems obvious, but it's the one thing you can't forget because that's where you have your sign-up sheet for people who are interested in ESA to be able to leave you their contact information. You can just throw a pad of lined paper on there if you want, but also on that same page in the recruitment part of the Member Center is a sign-up sheet that's already done with the ESA logo on it. Just print yourself a few, stick them on your clipboard, and head on out. The next thing we want to talk about is really the I never thought about that part, which is to have another event planned by the time you arrive at your Celebrate event. Huh? What is she talking about? Have another event planned. Yep, it's true, and this is the piece no one ever thinks about. You need something else on your ESA calendar as your next event, because while you're at your Celebrate ESA event, you need to be able to talk enthusiastically about the next thing you're doing, and how others can become involved with that next thing. It's important because it gives you something else to invite interested people to. The follow-up event can be something you've been planning for a long time, like your radiothon, or something you're making up for your follow-up event that's fun and easy. Yep, I mean that. If you don't already have an event planned that works as a good next thing, make one up. You can even just have a big check party to celebrate the dollars from your Celebrate event. The next event doesn't have to be huge, but it does have to be something happening in the next few weeks, so you can strike while the iron is hot. Remember Rose's ESA booth at the Memphis Marathon? They handled the next event piece with help from Denise Holdaway from Arkansas, who was already working on a new chapter in the Memphis area. Denise had planned a new chapter get-together at a local restaurant for 2 weeks after the marathon, and Rose made sure she had the information about Denise's event at the marathon table so people from the Memphis area who are interested in ESA would know what's next. Remember, Denise was already having that meeting at the restaurant, but Rose made sure she had the information available at the marathon table so locals wanting to participate could take another bite of ESA soon after the marathon. You know, the next event doesn't even have to be a St. Jude event. It can be an event where you go and walk the shelter dogs, work on your book drive, have an Easter egg hunt party for the kids on the nearby military base. Just make it something that someone new to ESA would enjoy, and have this information available at your table during the Celebrate ESA event. Have it written on a separate flyer, or just use that Make Your Own Flyer, something that people can take home and tell them that if you'll send them a reminder about the follow-up event if they'll leave your email address on your clipboard. So follow-up really is the next thing. After you meet and talk to all kinds of people at your Celebrate ESA event, you have their names and phone numbers or email addresses on your clipboard, and now you need to follow up. Get back in touch with those people now while they're still excited and they still remember us. Don't wait 4 days till your day off, and don't call your chapter membership director and ask them to do it. The follow-up call or email really should come from the person who made the connection in the first place. It only takes 5 minutes, and it only works if you do it soon. A good rule of thumb is regarding email, you can email them the same day for the follow-up. I enjoyed meeting you today at the ESA St. Jude event. Or for phone, you really probably want to call them no later than the next day. What should you say? Easy. Just say thank you for celebrating ESA in St. Jude. Tell them you enjoyed meeting them. If your event raised some money, share your success. Something like, we raised over $400 yesterday. Thank you for supporting us and the kids at St. Jude. Then remind them about your next event. Make sure they know they can bring a friend to the event. They might be more comfortable attending if they can bring somebody they already know. And if you don't hear back from them right away, a good rule of thumb is to knock 3 times. You might try a different time of day to leave your phone message or email instead of phone. But remember, if they don't respond immediately, it might be just that they're busy or out of town. Don't assume they're not interested until you've tried 3 times. And if you're contacting all these people who you've met at ESA and something like a new chapter opportunity exists, be sure and get a hold of me, Tracy Swanson, at ESA headquarters, because I'd love to brainstorm the ways to keep any new chapter opportunity ball rolling.
Just remember, Celebrate ESA events are about both our past and our future helping the kids of St. Jude, and the future part depends entirely on how many of us there are to make that difference. ESA needs you to make your Celebrate ESA events turn into new members this year, so go for it. Sponsor new members as a part of Celebrate ESA. And here are just a few links of where you can get some cool stuff. The first web direction up here is where to go to that recruitment section that we just showed you earlier. You can also get some stuff under the St. Jude section, event ideas, contact information, things like that. And as always, if you have any questions, you can contact us here at ESA headquarters by phone or email. And that is all from us here today. Thank you so much for listening, and we can't wait to hear how you rock your Celebrate ESA events this year.
Bye.